Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 492 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm your host, always, Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up,
I'll
buddy?
tell you what, man. I'm doing pretty good.
He's been practicing. You know what? Fuck you, Gables. Check this shit out. Check this out. Listen.
I actually did it with. With my left hand this time, and that actually worked out quite well, as opposed to.
You know what? I'm a lefty, and I popped it open with my right hand. So, fuck y'all.
But man,
Sorry, audio listeners.
But I'll tell you what, man. I'm doing pretty good. There had been plenty of gaming stuff that went on during this week, which I'm fairly excited for. But obviously, we'll get into that more so with the whole games news stuff that we generally do. But other than that, though, it was like work. Work has been pretty interesting because it's been kind of a little bit more quiet as opposed to the week before. Around my town is like a whole bunch of freaking craziness, a whole bunch of like random sirens, police, all this other crazy shit that's just going down inside my town. This last couple days kind of feels like a big city feel because of all the random craziness going on. But other than that, man, I'm just excited to just go and play a little bit of video games, playing more of Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. It is fucking fantastic. But enough about that at the moment. How have you been doing, Tyler?
Doing all right, clanging and banging as always. You know me. Been a long week. Had to work today, so that sucked. Found out last minute on that, but doing okay. Didn't get my. I normally wake up early on Saturday, anyways, and I just do whatever all morning, get the cleaning done, and I like to get up early Saturday morning, make a pot of coffee, sit down with my cup of coffee, play a game of Madden, drink that whole pot of coffee, and then I get up, do all my cleaning. So my entire weekend's all thrown off now. And then usually in there I take like a midday nap. That obviously did not happen, so that was a bit of a bummer. But adulting, so it's not a big deal. Whatever. I guess next Friday when I get paid, I'll be happier about the fact I worked today. But it's whatever. Did okay. Just counting down the days. This next week in Gables will be our 9th anniversary.
Jesus Christ, where does the time go?
Right? I know. We just so is what's crazy is if you for audio listeners or even if you're just finding us on YouTube here, just before we start, we did this. It's up on our YouTube channel. Gables and we did like a test live stream of like seeing if my computer can handle us recording us doing like reactions, but also not just recording it but live streaming it and messing with the settings, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and tried that out. So we actually went back and watched the Nintendo Direct from E3 2014. So that was it was like, well, let's just test stream and see how it does. And it was just crazy just going back and rewatching all that and just kind of reminiscing and talking about like man, like when we watched this was right after our 1 year anniversary, because we recorded the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. Funny thing about that, and we'll never stop giving Gable shit about this, he did not record that episode. So it never actually happened. It was maybe it was the greatest podcast ever created, and no one will ever hear it. We did that. But our first like official episodes that we posted were the E3 2013. So it's pretty crazy thinking that this will be our 9-year anniversary, and I think this would be our 10th E3.
Yes, it will.
Kind of covering it, so it's pretty exciting. So for the first time ever. The plan is, I know it's like technically E3, and maybe there won't even be an actual E3. Let's hope so, though. But all we have right now is Xbox, and we have a Summer Game Fest. We won't be able to record that one, unfortunately, the Thursday, the Summer Game Fest event, because Gables and I both have to work. But the Xbox Bethesda one on Sunday, we should be able to do, barring my computer doesn't blow up. Not going to work on that. We should be able to record all that and do all that. And I'll be off that week after that week of just kind of happenstance. And if there's anything else, we'll do that. And if Gables can't, I'll at least try to do it myself. Just but we're testing all out. So if you like all that, if you want to check it out, please go back. It's pretty fun just going back to that time and just like early Wii U days and stuff like that, and just us. A lot of us just going back and reminiscing about those days from 8 years ago. But yeah, if you are new to the show, to watch us for the first time, or you just kind of a casual listener, or someone that just watches all the time, if you are, please go and click on the show notes. If you're an audio or video listener, click on there. You'll see a link to what's called our link tree, and in there we'll have everything we're on. It'll be our personal Twitter accounts, the show's Twitter account, Facebook page, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, all those places. Please go to those places. Like, give us a subscribe, a follow, a like, a 5 stars, whatever you can do. Really would appreciate it. Also, shares. Shares is probably the most important thing. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Just tell everybody. We really appreciate if you do that for us. We do this for fun. We don't make money off of this. It's just a fun hobby we do. And it'd be great if we can get some more listeners out there. Our YouTube views have been going up a little bit over the last couple weeks, which is nice to see. But it'd be nice to make it a little bit better. We really would appreciate that. So, but yeah. Anyways, Gables, let's kind of get into the news here. So it's been we're creeping a little closer to the Summer Game Fest, and we've been hearing a lot more rumors. It hasn't been so rumor heavy. Last week was a lot of rumors and a lot of big news. Like last week I was talking about like I had to cut shit out of the podcast just because it was gonna be a 3-hour podcast if I didn't, and we had to like speed round through some of the news. This week, it's not a dead week, but it's a pretty good week. I brought up some bigger news, but like, man, we got spoiled last week.
Yeah, we did.
It's like, man, like I really wish some of this stuff could have came out like this week. Anyways, let's jump into some of our news topics. First, let's talk about PS Plus, Gables.
Mm-hmm.
So PS Plus, the new PS Plus is launching, I believe, in Asia on May 24th. Yes. Japan, I think June 2nd, and then us June 13th. And then I think there's like Australia and a couple other dates in there, but those are the ones I remember. So we've been talking about, like, like maybe they're gonna have a thing to like a state of play or something. Like they gotta do something here soon because like we don't know anything what's going on with any of the shit. So we need to get some news. So finally they did. They dropped I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday all of the not all the games, but like the initial wave of stuff here. So Gables had to walk away. So while Gables is away here, I'm just gonna kind of talk about some of the stuff before we jump into some of the bigger news here. So we have the essential, the extra, the premium plans. The essential is just what it's been. It's $10 a month or $60 for a year. It's just the base PS Plus. Nothing changes there. Extra is that middle tier that gives you like it gives you the PS4 and PS5 games, and it has like it's just kind of like a Game Pass type service. I believe that one is $100 a year, or it's like $15 a month. But if you're, I think you just pay the $100 for a year. I feel like for these, I understand, it's maybe easier to eat $15 a month than it is $100 for a year. But then there's a premium plan that is $18 a month. And that gives you like PSP, PS1, PS2, PS3 games, all that. So that one's $18 a month or $120 for a year. So really, that's just a combination of PS Now and PS Plus together. But not bad if you buy the year at a time. It's only $10 a month. So let's get in some of the games here. So the PS4 and PS5 catalog. So this isn't the full list. This is the initial list. They said that they're going to announce. So kind of what the plan is now is if you're in the middle tier, which is the PS4 and PS5 games, those ones will the first Tuesday of the month, kind of like when the PS Plus games drop, they will have a list for you on the PlayStation blog of all the games coming to the service that week or that month. And then they said for the premium tier, which is going to be all the classic games like PS1, PSP, PS2, PS3 games, that will they'll drop that in the middle of the month every month. So if you have the premium one, you're going to have 2 drops a month.
Right.
Kind of like we see with Game Pass. There's always like that. We get a drop at the beginning of the month. They announce everything. Then we get one in the middle of the month. So, but let's jump into some of this stuff here. So for the PS4, PS5 collection, these are the PlayStation Studio games. So remember, like they bought like Housemarque, and this is like something like, and they own like the IPs to some of these as well, but they don't own the studios. But like Alien Nation, Bloodborne, Concrete Genie, Days Gone, Dead Nation, Apocalypse Edition, Death Stranding and Death Stranding Director's Cut, PS4 and PS5, Demon's Soul, PS5, Destruction All Stars, Everybody's Golf, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. That does not include the DLC though. That's just the Director's Cut. God of War, Gravity Rush 2, Gravity Rush Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous First Light, Infamous Second Son, Knack 2, Little Big Planet 3, Loco Roco Remastered, Loco Roco 2 Remastered, Marvel Spider-Man, only the PS4 edition though. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, that is PS4 and PS5, Matterfall, Medieval, the remake, Patapon 1 and 2 Remastered, Resogun, Returnal, Shadow of the Colossus, Tearaway and Unfolded, The Last Guardian, great game, Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Left Behind, Until Dawn, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. That is the 1 through 3 that they remastered for PS4. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and The Lost Legacy. Only the PS4 versions, not the PS5 ones. Wipeout, Omega Collection. And then the third-party list here, we have Ashen, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste, fantastic game. Cities Skyline, Control Ultimate Edition, that's PS4 and PS5. Dead Cells, Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4, Final Fantasy 15, the Royale Edition, For Honor, Hollow Knight, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, our collective Game of the Year. It was Gables' Game of the Year and my number 2 Game of the Year last year. Mortal Kombat 11, Naruto Shippuden, Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, nailed it. I think that's a Pokemon game. NBA 2K22, Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil, Soul Calibur 6, South Park Fractured But Whole, The Artful Escape. Wow, okay, that was a Game Pass launch game. The Crew 2 and Tom Clancy's The Division. So that's like if you have the middle tier, this is the games you're going to get at launch. Like I said, on the first Tuesday of June, they'll have more games to announce. But Gables, how you feeling about that initial list if you're looking at getting the extra tier?
Okay, so when you're getting the extra tier, how I feel about that is this is more incentive of those that possibly don't have a lot of games in general if they're investing inside the PlayStation 5 or something for the first time. That's the overall impression I'm getting, is because there's a lot of good first-party content that's available through the extra tier. And other than, like, say, some of the most hardcore, which will probably already have most of these games, if not, like, some through PlayStation Plus or even through, like, some of the initial releases and stuff, I feel like it's okay. It's not like the greatest and stuff. It's really first-party heavy. There are some great third-party games that are on this extra tier, mind you. Celeste, Dead Cells, like something like that. Those are great games to go forth and dive into. But in terms of like the grand scheme of it, I think it's like okay at best. I think from my personal use and stuff, I may probably, if I want to invest into the extra tier, maybe a couple of games out of that stuff. Maybe Returnal, maybe Miles Morales, but I don't really see myself using that tier too often.
Yeah, I think it's definitely part of the reason is like we are typically the people that when games come out that we typically buy them.
Yes.
And when they come out, but like you see a lot of there's a lot of people like Game Pass that did. So they just like there's a lot of people that are like I've turned into that with like TV and movies. Like when like I don't watch them unless it comes to streaming services, and it's very rare. Like it's like unless I go see in theaters, I'm like I'm only watching like stuff that's on streaming. And then we know people in like the Talking Ship community like that. Like they only like if it's not on Game Pass, if it's like I think like a third party game or for like something that's Xbox related, if it's not on Game Pass, they're probably not going to buy it unless it's like like Nintendo or PlayStation or PC. So I think for a lot of people like there, it's going to be great. I was like kind of reading the comments in our Talking Ship community because it's kind of fun in there because like there's a lot of people are like I said they're like that. They just like a lot of people are like, man, I'm so happy I didn't buy Miles Morales, or like I've been wanting to play this game forever, and it's like, hey, it's awesome. Like now I can just play it on this service now when it comes out. So yeah, I think looking at it, it's like, is this gonna like do anything for me? No. For people like maybe like you're listening to this podcast, maybe not because a lot of these games are, you probably already played them, or if you wanted to play them, you would have played them already. I do think it's weird, like some things it's only PS4, not PS5, but it's whatever. Yeah, but I think it's a pretty good list. Like, I'm just kind of scrolling through if there's anything I'm excited to play, and the only thing I'm really excited about is like I can download Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
There you go.
And just get all the trophies.
Yeah, PS5. Pretty much, right?
Yeah, and do all that. I do think it's funny. Like Knack 2's not on there. They're probably saving that for a remaster. But Last of Us 2 is not on there. So, but yeah, all right. And the third party stuff, that's fine. Nothing blow away here. I don't foresee like Celeste is awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy is a big one. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is another big one. But as far as like newer stuff, yeah, like it looks like the newest thing on here is like Valhalla and like Guardians of the Galaxy. But I mean, great games in their own right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all right. But let's move on to the classic games catalog here. So those are the people that get the premium tier. Some kind of cool stuff that's out of this though is they did say that save states and rewind time will be a thing in this. So that's
Yes.
awesome. I don't know if it's gonna be for every game, but
I better hope it
like
be for
Siphon
every
Filter.
game.
Well, no, that's gonna be for every game. It's on the PSP, like the classic part. Those will be on every game, but the trophy there's apparently like Siphon Filter they confirm will have trophies. But I don't know if that's gonna be every game or if it's gonna be like game by game basis. But
I would hope
yeah.
for the
So
classic game side that it would be for every game, because that would be stupid if it's just like a select few games that have that type of feature.
I could see like the first party stuff doing it, but I wonder about like the third party games that are coming to
Yeah.
this. I wouldn't be like shocked like Mr. Driller doesn't have the trophies or something, but yeah. And then another cool thing they did announce here though is they said that players who have previously purchased these digital versions of these select games from the original PlayStation or PSP generations will not have to make a separate purchase or sign up for this PS Plus service to get those games. So say on PSP or on your PS3 you bought some of like, say you just bought like I don't know like Crash Bandicoot Warped on PS3, you bought it like you bought like the classic games on there. If that were to come to PS Plus later down the line to this PS Plus Premium whatever, you would be able to just download it, and you would not have to repurchase it or even sign up for that service. So that's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of like kind of what we're seeing right now with like we see with like the Xbox, where like if you own this game digitally and it comes through backwards compatibility, you can just re-download it. Which is awesome. So yeah, and they're kind of doing the same thing here, but who knows? Like, not a huge list of games here on day one, but this is the one they're talking about. Once a month, in the middle of the month, we should be getting like a update on what's coming. So as of right now, here's what's going to be here at launch. These are original PlayStation and PSP games: Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Super Stardust Portable. For third party, they had Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, and Worms Armageddon. And then we have these are like remasters, like remember they did like those PS2
Yes.
games they like on PS4, so this is like part of that. Some of them have been taken out as well, which is kind of weird. But so on this one we have Ape Escape 2, Arc the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits, Dark Cloud 2, Fanavision, Hot Shots Tennis, Jack 2, Jax 3, Jax X Combat Racing, Jack and Dexter, The Precursor Legacy, Rogue Galaxy, great game, Siren, Wild Arms 3. Some of the third-party stuff we have here, I don't know why this is on this, but we have BioShock Remastered, Borderlands, The Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Kings of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and Lego Harry Potter Collection. I don't know why it's there. I guess because they're all remasters, that's why. Okay, and then moving on to PS3 games. Obviously, as of right now, we have to stream these ones. And these are like the actual PS3 non-remastered versions, what they're saying about these. So, PlayStation Studio games, we have Crash Commando, Demon's Souls, Ecrochrome, Hot Shots Golf Out of Bounds, Hot Shots Golf World Invitational, Ico, Infamous 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, Loco Roco, Coco Echo, nailed it. MotorStorm Apocalypse, MotorStorm PRC, Puppeteer, Rain, Ratchet and Clank, Quest for Booty, Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, Resistance 3, not 1 or 2, just 3, Super Stardust HD, Tokyo Dungeon, what? Tokyo Jungle. Heard that game is fantastic.
It is.
When Vikings Attack, and for third party here we have Azura's Wrath, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, just the second one, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Enslaved Odyssey of the West. That game fucking rules. I didn't know that was on here. Fear, Lost Planet 2, not 1 or 3, just 2. Only the first Fear, the bad one, not 2 or 3, the better ones. Specifically 2. Ninja Gaiden, Sigma 2, and Red Dead Redemption, The Undead Nightmares. And then last but not least here, we have the time trials they've been talking about here. So if you have the premium tier, you can certain games will have up to 2 hours, I believe 2 hours is the minimum, to play the trials of their games. It sounds like what they're going to do is like, so they said like it's only the time only counts while you're playing the game. It doesn't say if like, what if I'm paused, does that count? Because like EA Play does like the 10-hour trials. But even if you pause the game, it will still count the time, which is kind of annoying. I remember doing like Madden and I paused it, and in the middle of the game I went and I think I took Louis for a walk, and I like, oh fuck, I just lost like 20 minutes. So it doesn't state if that will do it, but what it is saying here though, the cool thing is basically it sounds like you basically are just downloading the full game. It's kind of like what like the Strangers of Paradise type of thing, where you just like that demo where like everything if you buy the game, all the stuff will carry over.
Right. And
once you buy it, any achievements or trophies or whatever you unlocked will unlock when you buy it as well. So you don't have to like as long as you buy it when you play the trial, you don't have to replay that time over again. And that's gonna be case by case, but it sounds like the minimum will be 2 hours. The games that are available as of right now are Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, the PS5 versions. But if you have the premium one, you already have Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy on PS4. So I don't know. I guess if you want to just see how much better it looks. Horizon Forbidden West. Third-party game, Cyberpunk 2077. So you can just do the 2-hour demo and like, oh, okay, I don't need to play any more of that game. Farming Simulator 22, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and WWE 2K22. And they did say that they're going to be adding games to that regularly. But so that's what we got. Yeah, so May 24th in Asia, June 2nd in Japan, South America and North America June 13th, and then Europe, Australia, New Zealand on June 23rd. So that's what we got, Gables. I mean, is this, this is coming out in a couple weeks here for us, a few weeks away, whatever. How you feeling on this thing?
I am not really too sold upon the top premium tier of this, and that's because the classic games, especially for the PS2 ones, I mean, they're basically a rehash of what has already been available on the PS4 and the digital storefront for that portion. The PS,
it's kind of what we thought. It's basically what PS Now was.
Yes,
but now it's just morphed in with this.
It's morphed in with this, yes, and there's even less games to choose from than what it was on PlayStation Now. I mean, you can see the streaming through PS3 and like the PS2 games are more relevant than that. But when it comes to the whole PlayStation 1 classic stuff, I mean, there are some noteworthy games and stuff, but it's not worth the initial spending, the $18, $19 yet. Excuse me. It's not worth it yet.
$420 a year.
Yeah. But there are elements of it, that top tier, that are nice. The game trials for 2 hours, obviously. The whole aspects of, like, that in of itself is more useful, in my opinion, in that top tier than some of the classic games. I mean, yeah, you have your Ape Escape, you have Intelligent Cube, you have this and that, though, but there obviously are a plethora of other types of PlayStation games. One PSP game at launch, and it's one of the most... I like Super Stardust, mind you, and stuff, but I wish they would have balanced it, like, say, half with PS1, half with PSP, that would have been at least balanced a little bit, but give or take that, I kind of felt like if you are going to invest inside of this whole PlayStation Plus, like, subscription tier or something like that, at least get the one above, the basic one, so that at least that way you get to download some of those PS4, PS5 games you could try out. Yeah. But, right now, it's not worth it investing into the full thing, regardless of whether or not you're a trophy hunter or not.
Yeah, I feel like that the extra tier, the middle tier, is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're someone that's like just buying a PS5, or maybe you're not someone that like you're not like us there. You buy games years later, or you like maybe you don't have the money to buy a lot of games a year, so this is great for you. It's kind of like Game Pass. In that way. So I feel like the middle tier is not bad. Yeah, but it's like I think it's almost weird that like I feel like the tiers should probably be switched, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why the premium tier is the classic games, because I feel like most people will be more excited about the PS4, PS5 games than they would be the
You
old
know,
games. But
more people would be excited about the premium tier if the classic games introduced were not something that we already had previously, say on the PS4 remastered
yeah,
or streaming through
but
PlayStation Now.
PS Now was just like, so I feel like that thing just kind of came out and like it was. I imagine it was doing okay. It was doing fine, but like
Yeah,
they never really heavily pushed it, and it was never like. It just kind of feel like it's something came out, and they just like kind of like, all right,
it's
well, it's just
yet
we're,
it's like yet another thing that PlayStation put out, but at the same time, hardly didn't have any type of advertising for it, and it's kind of faded into
yeah,
obscurity up until now.
yeah. I mean, for a while there, we knew it was like the numbers were pretty good on it, but they haven't really talked about that or updated that for a long time. But maybe it was silently doing pretty well. Like probably not doing gangbusters or anything, but it was probably doing pretty well for them. Maybe
Hmm.
enough that they're wanting to do something more. And just kind of enough to know that the PS Now name doesn't mean a lot. Like they probably realize they dropped the ball on it,
Mm.
and they know they need to like just a rename and a rehash is basically what this is. Like the business is the same. We just changed the name, kind of thing on it. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that most gamers do not actually care about those older games. Like yeah, like a lot of people talk about them, but I feel like the large majority, like the people, like the non-hardcores, they just want to play the newer stuff. Like maybe like they want to dabble here and there, but like I don't. That's why I think it's weird that the premium stuff is. I feel like the premium all should be the newer games, and then like the classic games should just be in that middle tier.
Now, the
Um,
one thing I can say with certainty that I like in regards to the whole classic stuff is when eventually they do release more classic games. I love the fact that if you purchased them previously on the PS3 or the PSP or the Vita, you can download them natively on your PS5 and play it that way.
yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that. Um, Something I didn't think they would do, and it's awesome that they're doing it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's not awful. It seems like people are mostly okay with this and pretty excited about this
Right,
list.
right.
I didn't like I said like for us, yeah, as people that like typically just buy the games as they come out. And we played the majority of those big games already. It's kind of like when they announced the PlayStation Collection on PS5,
Right.
when it has like 20 big PS4 games on it. It's like those games are that's an amazing list. Like I would argue that you stack those games against the top games on Game Pass, like those games on the PlayStation Collection are better. But it's like I've already played all those games, so it's for me personally, it's like this does nothing for me because I played and beat most, if not all, of those games. But for someone that might just be buying a PS5 and didn't have a PS4 or whatever, it's like you just got fucking some of the best games of the last generation on your console right away. So, but yeah, we'll move on. So something that kind of came out with that though is that Ubisoft announced that Ubisoft Plus, which is a service they kind of like brought out a little while back.
Right.
I think about a year or two ago.
Yeah, like a number of years ago, yes.
And I think it's like I can't remember the pricing. I'm trying to find it in here. They don't have
Oh,
pricing.
God. Was it like about $10 a month or something?
I think it's like $10 a month, and it gives you a bunch of like it's kind of like their EA Play, where it has a bunch of games in there. They've added throughout. Like eventually they add to it, but there's a more expensive tier that you can do. I think
Yes.
right now it's only on PS Plus. I think it's on Xbox though. It's on Stadia. It's on Stadia and Amazon Luna.
Oof.
But they announced kind of on that also that this is coming out with it, and it's going to be so I'm going to kind of read through some of this stuff here, but there's a more expensive tier. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. That I think it's like $20 a month maybe, where all the games come there day one, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So if you're someone that plays, but I think you got to pay like an annual subscription. Like you got to pay for the whole year for that. You can't just buy a month or so. I can't remember. It's weird. I shouldn't speak if I don't know for certain. But I remember looking at it. I'm like, is this something I want? Maybe. And yeah. But anyways, so we have Ubisoft Plus. It's coming to PlayStation. So I'm just gonna read through. This is their blog post here. Ubisoft Plus will come to PlayStation in the future, bringing access to more than 100 titles, additional content, packs, and rewards to the platform. The subscription service is currently available on PC, Stadia, and Amazon Luna, so it's not available. So there's an app on the Xbox for Ubisoft Plus,
Yes.
but I guess it's not on there. Offering players day one releases, classic games. Yeah, so there is a more expensive tier that give you day one releases and premium editions, and ultimately will be available on PlayStation and Xbox. Ubisoft also revealed that beginning in, you know what? there's that Ubisoft Club thing where you get points.
Yes.
There's not for that. I apologize. I just remember that now. I downloaded that app on my Xbox for something. I don't remember what it was. I apologize. I'm going to continue on, though. Last interruption for me of interrupting myself. Ubisoft also revealed that beginning May 24th, it will launch a new Ubisoft Plus subscription for PlayStation Plus called Ubisoft Plus Classics. Ubisoft Plus Classics on PlayStation is a curated selection of popular games, including top-selling Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Division, and For Honor, as well as beloved classic games like Child of Light. Ooh, yeah, I do love that game. Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, and Watch Dogs, and Werewolves Within. I don't know that game, and more. Ubisoft Plus Classics. I can't talk now. Catalog for PlayStation Plus will launch with 27 titles and will grow to 50 by the end of 2022. Check out the full list of day one games below. So some of those games are actually already tied in. You feel like you heard me talk about the third-party games that are on those premium and extra tiers. A lot of them were Ubisoft games.
Yep.
So this is what's coming. We got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, The Crew 2, Child of Light, Eagle Flight, which is a VR game, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4 Legendary Fishing, Risk Urban Assault, a South Park Fractured But Whole, South Park Stick of Truth, Space Junkies, Star Trek Bridge Crew, which I believe is also a VR game, Starlink, The Battle for Atlas. Remember that game, Gables?
Yep.
I have that still in the box for Switch.
Yeah, and the Switch version
like
was
$5.
the most sought after one because of Star Fox.
Yeah. No, it was not because I bought it for $5 like 6 months later. And then I saw like a couple months after that for like $1. So should have waited. Steep, remember that game, Gables?
No, somewhat.
Yeah, that's the one where you're like you're going down the mountain like skiing. The Crew, The Division, Trackmania Turbo, Transference. That game was fucking garbage. That's the Elijah Wood game. It was in VR, but it was just like a knockoff like horror game. It was just not good. Trials Fusion. Oh, remember Trials? That game was so good. Trials of the Blood Dragon, Trials Rising, Valiant Hearts, great fucking game. Watch Dogs, Werewolves Within, and Zombie, which is that Zombie U game, but they ported it to others and they just called it Zombie. With Ubisoft Plus Classics, we're providing PlayStation players with another way to enjoy Ubisoft games on their consoles. This is just the beginning, as we will ultimately make Ubisoft Plus available to PlayStation owners as we continue to build our vision and blah 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 blah. Ubisoft Plus Classics will launch bundled with PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium subscription tiers on May 24th in Asia, June 2nd. For us and all the other areas. They said there's gonna be 27 games at launch. Eventually, we'll have 50 by the end of the year. So just another thing to add to. So kind of like EA Play is on. If you get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get EA Play. With PlayStation Extra or Premium, you get Ubisoft Plus. So another pretty decent deal. I mean, Valhalla. A lot of people love that game. It's a Ubisoft map game if you've ever seen one. But yeah, I think there's Far Cry 3, great game. I think as far as like a classic, of classic list, you got like a lot of really good games there. We have the two South Park games, we have Child of Light, we have Valiant Hearts, the first Watch Dogs. Unfortunately, not Watch Dogs 2, which Watch Dogs 2 is a very good game.
Yes, it is.
Watch Dogs 1 was a fine game, and 2 was an awesome game, and then 3 came out, and we don't want to talk about that one. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's not bad. It's a pretty good list. I don't know if you can have it separately. Like you can get EA Play if you just want EA Play, because it's like $30 a year on like Xbox. If you want to you can just buy that without getting Game Pass. I don't know if they're going to do that separately or if you have to get it through that, but I don't know. It's a nice thing to add in there, and it's kind of a nice little plus. What about you, Gables?
Yeah, it's all right. In the regards to that, give or take what games that you like to play through Ubisoft, it may be worth it or not. But to me and stuff, like the premium, yeah, that's a good incentive to try to get premium. But at the same time, though, if you're only interested in a couple things Ubisoft-wise, you're better off just go through buying it on either the PlayStation Store or get it on a physical disc somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's available in Extra, which is like $15 a month or $100 for a year, so if you are, you're interested, like you said, yeah, you could probably find them for cheap, or maybe just get it for a month or two and play some of those games on there because there's really great games on there
Yes.
that are on that service. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. It was kind of like they announced it like shortly after they announced the PlayStation Plus list, and just kind of feel like it kind of got lost. So I wanted to make that separate. But Gables, let's move on to another topic. Gables is my favorite thing to talk about every month. We got NPDs, Gables.
Yes.
NPDs, baby. So it was kind of weird. Like there was like an issue or something like the date change. So we got the NPDs very late last month.
Yes.
And then we got it like very early this month. We actually had the list last week, but we were so busy I pushed it to this week. So I got some fun little things out of this too. Gave us some fun little nuggets for people. So let's start off with the top 20 list here. So number 20, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's that Borderlands game. To be fair, Take-Two does not include digital sales in the NPDs, so that's probably why it's dropped so far. Because I think they said it's above expectations last week in their quarterly financial talks, whatever that means. But like Borderlands Gables, surprisingly, it sold like almost 20 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands 3. Like I feel like that game just kind of came out and no one cared, but apparently a lot of people cared.
That's fairly surprising.
I guess to be fair, I did buy it. I found it for I think it was a Best Buy deal of the day. I bought it for like $8, and I never even played it. So I turned around and I sold it to GameStop for $12. Suckers. I'm the reason why GameStop is dying. Moving on here to the next topic next on the list here. So number 20, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Number 19, Madden NFL 22. Number 18, Mario Party Superstars. Number 17, W2K22. From 7 to 17, this is the best launch ever for a WWE 2K game. Which is saying something. 'Cause that's about 10 years under the Take-Two banner. Also, once again, Take-Two does not include digital sales, but glad to hear that's doing really well. Number 16, Animal Crossing New Horizon. Number 15, Miles Morales. Number 14, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 13, Black Ops Cold War. Number 12, FIFA 22. Number 11, Minecraft. Number 10, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 9, Gran Turismo 7. Dropped from 2 to 9 that month. Number 8, sitting at 8. It's just always at 8. Mario Kart 8. Number 7, who would have thought that the best-selling racing game of April 2022 would be an 8-year-old Mario Kart game?
Really.
Not the brand new racing game from PlayStation. Number 7, Forza Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Jesus. Number 6, Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 5, brand new game, Gables. Want to guess what that game is? Came out. It's a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Came out April 29th.
April 29th.
Only had 3 days on to make this list. And it came at the number 5 spot.
Let me guess, Wii Sports?
No, it's Nintendo Switch Sports.
Nintendo Switch Sports.
At the 5 slot. So doing pretty well. And this is based off of money earned, not individual copies sold. But the physical edition is $50 because it comes out leg strap. The digital edition is $40. Nintendo does not include digital sales, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's doing really good physically. Number 4, dropping all the way from number 3, Gables. Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
Still holding in strong. Number 3, MLB The Show 22. I thought so. Remember last month I talked about this, that it was number 4 last month, but it was only on the thing for I believe 3 days.
Yep.
For that NPD, and it only included the people that bought the premium edition, where you got 5 days early access. So this is everybody else that bought the game. And also a Game Pass game, day 1 launch game. So game's doing really well. Number 2, Gables. What do you think number 2 is?
What do I think number 2?
It's a game you played.
Elden Ring?
It is Elden Ring. Finally, de-seeded from the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
What do you think number 1 is? It's a brand new game.
Number 1, brand new game, huh? Yep. In the month of April.
It's on everything. It is a third-party game.
Yep. Third-party game on everything. Is it NBA?
Nope. Disney
Oh.
owns the IP. Disney didn't make it, but they own the IP.
Oh my God, Disney owns the IP. Jesus Christ. I mean, I know it's something familiar. It's off the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, is it Star Wars related?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
What was the new
so
Star
is.
Wars game?
Oh my God. Why am I spacing
I'm
this?
I'm I'm playing it. I just started playing it yesterday. TT
I know
Games made
it's.
it. They
TT
made a lot
Games.
of these Star Wars games.
Oh my God, dude. I am so
It
bad with this.
is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
That's right.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't usually play the Lego games.
Yeah.
That's.
So, so some interesting notes out of this, Gables. Lego Star Wars debuts as already the second best-selling game of 2022.
There
So
you go.
this game's been delayed multiple times. We've talked about like the Lego games, like they're so good in like that early to like mid 360 PS3 era. Really blew up over there. Like they kind of popped in towards the end of like that PS2 GameCube era. But they really kind of, I think they blew up in that early, like the 2006 to like 2010 era. And then they just kind of kept coming. And I think a lot of burnout happened. So they took a lot of time on this one, and it seems like it's paying off. The reviews been really well so far. I'll talk about the game more later, but people have
I've been hearing nothing but good things about that game.
did really well for me in the our Fantasy Critic League.
Yeah.
And also here something interesting. So, some other note here. So the Lego Star Wars the Skywalker Saga achieved the highest launch month dollar sales for any Lego title in history, and after 1 month, ranks as the sixth best selling Lego game life to date. So, doing really good right away. And then also Gables. Another fun fact for you: Elden Ring is the best selling game over the last 12 months. Beating Call of Duty Vanguard, which is wild because typically when you look at like the rolling 12 months list, it's always in the like two of the top three games are always usually number one and number three are Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
And like usually number two might be like a sports game or like I don't know, like a fucking Pokemon game or something.
That tells you how strong Elden Ring is.
Like we talked about last week, I think it's like or a couple weeks ago, it's at like the 13 million mark. All right, I'm looking at something here. So we just did a bidding process on our thing here.
Yep.
All right, you got Soul Hackers and Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hope. All right, I got Forza Motorsports. All right.
I got to figure you were going to get Forza Motorsports. That's why I didn't bid on Forza Motorsports.
Damn it! I upped my bid. I got scared. Look, you better not take this from me.
I kept my bid at 5 apiece.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
even if you did outbid me on one of them and stuff like that, I'd still have at least the other, which I didn't know I was going to get both, but hey.
I didn't even bother bidding. I looked at the Fire Emblem, the Warrior games. Typically, don't review super duper well. Like they're like the mid sevens.
They're the mid sevens, but some on occasion have gone up to the 80s.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen with this one. And Soul Hackers, I have no idea what the hell that game's gonna be, so I didn't even bother with it.
Yeah, I got to figure you weren't gonna bid on that one because it's a hardcore JRPG.
Yeah. And I looked up like the last one came out like 20 years ago, so I'm like, I'm just gonna let that one be. But all right, let's move on, Gables, to some other news this week. Trying to do time slots here. All right, so Roller Champions, remember that game, Gables?
No.
Oh, God. All right, so it was a Ubisoft game that they announced like 4 years ago at E3.
No wonder.
It's that roller derby game.
Okay.
So they've just dropped a trailer the other day for it. They showed you how the game works. Basically, just you're with a team. It's roller derby, and the more laps you do with the ball and you throw it in the hole, the more points you get. The first one, the 5 points wins. It's coming out next week, May 25th. I believe that is a Wednesday. And coming out next Wednesday. It's gonna be free to play. It's coming to everything. And I mean literally everything. It's on like Luna and everything. It's coming out. It's gonna be free to play. They showed off that they're gonna have like the season passes, all that fun jazz, all the shit they do to make make money. Looks fine. I don't think I'm ever actually gonna play this game. I don't think see people seem to like it like years ago when they played it at E3, and then just kind of went away forever. And then it's just weird that they just dropped it out of nowhere, like a trailer for here's the game, here's what you do to play the game, and it's coming out. Hey, and by the way, it's out a week from now.
That's weird.
Yeah. So and it's gonna be free to play, so it's a live service game. So good
Uh,
luck with that one, Ubisoft. I don't know. So whatever. So that's happening.
and this is why they're looking to be buyed.
Yeah. This is what they're gonna be bought. Oh shit, Gables! I totally forgot to mention this. Did you hear?
EA?
Yeah, about EA.
Yes, EA wants to either be sold or merge with a company, and
Well, they want to merge.
companies.
Yeah.
Yes, and this started breaking a little bit late yesterday, and then it's a little bit more rumblings today, where EA, Electronic Arts, is looking to either be merged or to possibly just sell it outright to pretty much anybody they want to go forth and negotiate with. A couple of companies that have went through and negotiated. One of them was pretty close, was NBC Universal.
Yep.
But there was also talks, I believe, with Amazon, and I believe Disney was
Apple.
another one. Apple, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was also another one of the things. So potentially we could see a possible merger between EA and another major company relatively soon. Not sure what, but from what I come to understand, I watched a bit of this information upon a video from Young Yea, who is a predominant YouTuber as well, that in regards to like leadership roles, it seems like oh god, who the hell's that top dude that's at EA right here, the CEO,
Wilson.
Andrew Wilson.
Andrew,
I
yeah.
think is his name.
I think you're right.
Andrew Wilson, he will still remain inside of Power as CEO,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not, like, when they merge or what they do. Which kind of honestly, in my honest opinion, dude, that kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to see a little bit of a shake-up
Yeah.
because EA has been so stagnant, especially with the misstep and the colossal failure that was Battlefield 2042.
Yeah. I
But
give
yeah.
a little. I feel like they're trying. They've been doing.
They're
They've
trying
been
to do
pushing the
something.
EA originals. I've been hearing some news behind like. It Takes Two that's like blew away their expectations.
Absolutely.
Won them a Game of the Year from Game Awards. And commercially did really well. So they're like kind of doubling down on the EA original stuff. Instead of like just putting out like one game a year, they're actually like have more deals in place, and they're giving them more money to make games as well. So it sounds like, hey, like that's really awesome. And that's one of the games that's rumored to be a Q1 game of 2023. Is a
Right.
EA original game, not gonna be Hazelight, which is the It Takes Two studio. Obviously, it's way too early for them. But it sounds like they're working on. They're probably gonna make another game for them. But I don't know. Like they got Skate 3 coming. A couple years probably away, but still it's coming. We got Dead Space remake, Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming next year. So I don't know. Like it's not it's not like great for us, and there's definitely a lot of embarrassments on their end. But they're not, they're not Square Enix or Ubisoft. Like they are. I don't know. Like there's definitely a lot of things to not like about them, for sure.
Right.
And they're not 2K. I don't know. They're not as like. I don't feel like they're as we should universally hate them as we did 10 years ago when they got voted the worst company in the world or in the United States 2 years in a row, which was always stupid. I thought it's funny. It was a funny story, but it was stupid because it's like there was literally companies that were like foreclosing people's houses illegally, that were not voted the worst company. I feel like you guys should be a shoo-in for that. But people gamers got mad and voted them over Bank of America.
I will bring up this point across right here when it comes to it, but isn't it crazy that this year we've seen 3 major AAA companies either going through in process of talking about merges or selling or acquired, Activision, Ubisoft, EA,
And Square.
all within the same year. Oh yeah, Square, that's 4.
Yeah.
All within the same year.
Yeah. I mean,
And all 4 of those companies have had major missteps in some of their recent game releases too. Got Babylon's Fall and Avengers for Square Enix.
Ubisoft is
that.
it's just a trail of fucking dead games behind it.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
but yeah, I mean, you can do that with I can pick that out. You can do it with every, I think, big game maker though. Even like Nintendo's had missteps. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah, I mean, like they're definitely some of those are like they're bigger failures because how much money they sink into them. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. My thing is like it always concerns me like where a non gaming entity is possibly buying a big one like this. It'd be kind of funny though after EA is like decades of like buying studios and then like fucking them up and then closing them. Uh, it would be fitting that like another company bought them, fucked them up, and then closed them. Which that's my main concern is like it was like
That would be
when you
big karma on their part.
yeah,
That would
but
be
it's
funny.
nobody. I don't know. Nobody really wants like you. It's like
Nobody really won't.
people can say oh fuck EA, but it's like they're pretty important guys, and you know they employ a lot of people, and they like you know not. I love Madden obviously, but like that aside, like they still make a lot of good games that people love. It's kind of like like we talked about a couple weeks ago with like Ubisoft possibly being bought by a private like was it private division? I can't remember what it's called, but basically just a bunch of rich people that will like they just fuck companies up and then they sell them. It's like I would rather
Yeah.
fucking Tencent buy that company. Than, I know people want to talk about like I don't want Chinese money brought into non-Chinese companies, but it's like selfishly, it's like I want these gaming companies that are in the gaming world to continue to run gaming companies.
Right, instead of being gutted and never see the
Yeah, and
light
maybe
of
that
day
doesn't
ever
happen,
again.
but it's like like the big thing was like NBC wanted EA because of like they're like big into like the cloud right now and like their streaming services, so they want that technology for themselves to like their other services, and it's like I don't know, that concerns me. And maybe like a merger would be better that let the people that like are running the game side continue to run the game side instead of merging and then all those people leave, and then we have non-gaming people running a gaming company, which would be
Yeah, that's
concerning.
the biggest fear.
Yeah,
That's the
I
biggest
would
fear for a AAA company like
it's
that.
easy to shit on Andrew Wilson, but it's like I would rather Andrew Wilson stick around than them just plug in some guy that doesn't know anything about video games to try to run a video game company. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like playing it safe, but I don't know. I don't want these like we love games, and the more companies, big companies, the better. So yeah, it's exciting when they get when Activision, because it's so. I mean, Activision's a different story because it was so fucked up that Microsoft buying them is exciting to like kind of like
Yeah,
save all the IPs over there and get them out of that Call of Duty funk. So
but
yeah,
for cases like Ubisoft or like EA, it's kind of sad because obviously they're a product of their own pudding. They had a lot of mismanagement type of things
yeah.
and game releases and stuff in the past, but we still want to see their
Well, yeah,
games
but
prosper in
EA is
regards to that
perfectly
stuff.
fine. Is doing financially still doing very very well.
Well,
They're not
yes.
losing money. They are doing very well. So same with Ubisoft. None of these companies are losing money. It's just yeah. But yeah, it's when your big game flops. Even not even like it made money. It's just not a commercial success like they wanted. But let's get back into the other news here, like we were doing. So, anyways, Roller Champions is coming on May 25th. If you care, I don't think anybody does. Final Fantasy 7 news apparently is happening next month.
Yep.
But no idea what that means because there's some like what is that? What is final? Like they didn't specifically say remake, and they didn't specifically even if they said remake, there's multiple remakes happening for Final Fantasy 7.
Absolutely.
Is it the First Soldier mobile game? Is it the Ever Crisis? I think is the other remake they're doing. Is it a movie-based game? Is it remake 2? I don't know, Gables. I don't want to get too excited. This gives me hope that maybe there's a PlayStation thing next month because there's been some talk that like maybe there is because PlayStation has the marketing deal with them on Final Fantasy 7 remake. So I feel like if that's gonna be shown off,
And
that's
also for Final Fantasy 16.
and 16, but this one they're only talking about 7. But they did say Final Fantasy 16 will be talked about in the spring. So
Ah,
and we're getting pretty close to the end of spring. Even though it's 50 degrees here in Iowa and I got the heat on. But yeah, I don't know. It gives me more hope. And I really hope it's a remake too. They did say earlier this year that they would talk about Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2 before the end of the year. But to be fair, they said the exact same thing about 16 last year. And then like December
yes.
30th, they put a blog post out saying we're not ready to talk about Final Fantasy 16 and we'll talk about it in the spring. So maybe we're just reliving that same thing, but with 7 Remake. I don't know. But yeah, that's happening. Fucking the goddamn guy from Death Stranding 1 and Walking Dead. I forgot his name. Doesn't matter.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Yeah, Norman Reedus and the fetus. He said that he's making Death Stranding 2, which, to be fair, he said the exact same thing about 2 years ago, and then it came out, the director's cut came out, and we're all like, oh, that's probably what he's talking about. And then he just said it again in an interview last week.
Well, that's just the thing, you know. It's like in Hollywood, actors and actresses do like casually drop like other future projects they're working on and stuff, but
they don't.
Obviously, when it comes to the gaming industry, it's more considered like a bombshell if somebody even introduced something that's like unannounced like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny, like the whole tweet by Hideo Kojima, like after that thing came out and stuff.
Yes, that was hilarious. It was him pretending like he was hitting Norman Reedus with a baseball bat, with what's Barbie, I think is the baseball bat from Walking Dead. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that one, but yeah. Apparently he leaked that, which why does Kojima hate me, Gables? I supported this man for 30 fucking years, and he does this to me. Puts out Death Stranding. Now Justin likes Kojima. Justin never cared about Metal Gear Solid. Never cared about Metal Gear Solid.
Now it's the opposite.
Never
he
cared
likes
about
Kojima now, and you don't like him.
I still like. I don't. Not that I dislike him. He just hurt me. Is all. And he doesn't care about me. I feel like this is a one-way relationship.
So what you're saying is Death Stranding 2 is a day one game.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm eventually gonna beat Death Stranding. I go back to it like every 6 months. I'm very close at the end. I've got like 5 hours left. I'm like 30 something hours in. I might as well.
You might as well plow through it when you can.
It just makes me so fucking mad, Gables. It brings out the worst in me. Oh God, it just fuck that game.
Oh,
it's so
fuck, dude.
The cutscenes are so beautiful though. Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna play that game. I bought the director's cut. Might as well. Fuck, God damn me. I hate me for this. Speaking of some PlayStation, something actually interesting about the Death Stranding 2 thing is that PlayStation owns the IP, but 505 Games that they also published Control, for Remedy. They published this game. They published Death Stranding 1 on the PC. PlayStation didn't.
Yes.
Even though PlayStation didn't marketed it. So that could be a thing where maybe because I feel like it sounded like Death Stranding it sold pretty well, but PlayStation was overall kind of disappointed with the game. They were just expecting more from they expected more from a Kojima game, I guess, from that. So it could possibly it's still coming to it would have to be a PlayStation exclusive, but maybe there's a marketing deal with say 505 Games is helping with paying some of the costs. I don't know. I don't fully understand that one, but I was kind of reading about how that could be where PlayStation technically doesn't have to give the okay to doesn't have to be the one to greenlight this game, I guess. They have to greenlight it to come to consoles. They can come Death Stranding 2 could be a PC game, but I don't know. I don't fully understand it. I shouldn't talk about things I don't fully understand. But it was I thought it was kind of interesting, but I need to research more and figure out how that works. Moving on though, we have Last of Us Remake. Apparently it's still coming this year, which thank God, because I drafted it. I was so confident in this game coming out this year. I drafted it in January to our Fantasy Critic League.
Yep.
And Jeff Grubb mentioned that apparently it's still on track to come out this year. Originally, the idea was because the TV show for HBO was supposed to start at the end of this year. It's now being pushed to 2023. It sounds like it's gonna be earlier in the year on 2023 though. It's maybe first maybe February, March-ish, around there for it to premiere. But they still want to put it out in 2022. It's kind of like what we've seen with Uncharted when they did the Legacy of Thieves collection for PS5.
Right.
A couple weeks before the movie came out, they did the remasters for those. And basically they're doing this remake, and the idea is put it out this year, get the initial boost right away. People will buy it right for the holidays, and also people that loved the first game already, or maybe just missed it or whatever. Here you go. Here's a remake for you. And then in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the TV show comes out. Maybe it has that Witcher 3 effect, where Witcher came out on Netflix. Everybody went out and bought it. Again, or just never played it, went out and bought it on PC. Maybe we get that bump for that, and I think that's kind of the idea. I went on a whole rant like a year ago about why the fuck are we remastering a game that's 10 years old, not even 10 years old. I don't really have the energy to do it again. But yeah, that's happening. And I'm going to bitch about it, and I'm probably going to buy it. So, yeah, I don't know. Gables, you got anything to add to that one?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, it's like I can understand why they want to go forth and remaster this game. But at the same time, we already had a remastered version of
Well,
The
this
Last
is
of
a
Us
remake in the
PS4.
new engine. So Last of Us 1...
remake.
Yeah, so Last of Us 1 was made in a different engine from Last of Us 2. So this is the engine that Last of Us 2 was made in. Uncharted 4 was made in the Last of Us 1 engine. Like this is like the new engine. So I'm sure it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to play better. It's going to use the Last of Us 2 gameplay. It was my game of the year 2020. It's probably my number one, or it's probably my number 2 favorite game of all time. Probably I don't know. That's a conversation I'm going to have with myself one of these days between God of War 2018 and Last of Us Part 2 that I'm not mentally prepared to have. But anyways, I don't know. Go ahead, Gibbs.
But anyways, I still kind of feel like it's too soon for like a remaster of this game.
Yeah, well, remake.
Okay. Remake.
I don't want people to get mad at you. Yeah, it's very important that we do that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably gonna I'm like, why are we doing this? And then we're gonna see gameplay. I'm like, okay,
we're gonna get a damn one.
I guess I'm all right. I'm buying that. Fuck yeah, $70. Okay, that's fine. I'll buy it for
$70.
I'll
November
buy it
has factions.
Yeah, maybe it has. Yeah. I have a theory that maybe factions comes to the PS Plus premium thing or something.
I could see that happening.
Okay, if it's, I don't know, that could be a thing. I don't know. But Gables, we need to move on. Let's talk about what we've been playing this week. I'm gonna go first because I'm gonna kind of make mine fast. I played a couple games this week. I played like I mentioned earlier. I played the Lego Star Wars game, Skywalker Saga. Mm-hmm. Gables, guess what I got?
What?
I got GameFly. I got a deal from them. So I got a deal from them for a month of GameFly for $1. I'm like, okay, and you get 2 games at a time. And I kind of timed, like, I got it like a month ago, and I had until May 16th, so this past Monday, to sign up for it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I have a vacation. Like I started like June 9th or June 10th. I started. So I like a good chunk of my vacation. I'll still have GameFly, and so I'm like, okay, cool. And I got 2 games at once. Awesome. So I got Lego Star Wars and Sifu, which worked out because Sifu just came out physically last week. Sifu, some reason I got Lego Star Wars on Friday and I got Sifu today. I don't know why they got shipped separately. FedEx must have delivered them. But anyways, I got that for a month, and I'm gonna try a few. I'm gonna play a few games. I have a few games here I want to play. But I played that. It's cool. Is like you can start off. You can start any trilogy that you want. You can do like the prequels, the original, or the Disney prequels, and So I started with 7. I want to try it. I just want to. I don't know why I picked 7. I'm probably gonna do the original trilogy last. But I remember like playing through the first 6 on GameCube way back in the day. And loving it. I'm that fan. There's like a lot of people that like I played the Harry Potter Lego games. I played the Indiana Jones Lego games. Like I got really into those, and like a lot of people. And then just kind of like they started doing like the Marvel ones, and they started doing like the Undercover one, and it just kind of fell off. But the reviews came out, did pretty well. Obviously selling really well. And so far I'm really liking it. It's kind of cool. Like some of the changes they made to it, where it's like there's open areas in it, so you can start the missions whenever you want, but like there's just a bunch of like every movie has like open areas with like side missions you can do, where you can find a bunch of studs, which are just like little Lego pieces that are like currency in the game. There's like side missions you can do, which you can find like some bricks that you need the bricks to up. Like they have skill trees that you can upgrade. The nice thing is the skill tree is like universal because you play as several different characters. I feel like and there's actually voice acting, so they hired voice actors. And the voice acting, I mean, obviously it's not the original characters from the actors, but the actors that they have, it's kind of like when you watch like a Disney, the TV show of like the Lion King TV show. It's like that's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas playing as Simba in the TV show, but it sounds pretty close. And it's kind of the same thing in this one. It's not Robin Williams as Genie, but it sounds pretty close. It's kind of like that in on this. Where like a lot of them pretty good. Some of them are awful. Guy who plays like Kylo Ren, awful. Doesn't sound anything like him. Han Solo doesn't sound anything like the Harrison Ford. Some of them are pretty bad, but some of them really good. Like Pose is pretty good. Finn's is really good. Rey's is pretty good. Luke Skywalker's is it's fine. But yeah, I beat episode 7, episode 8, and so far I really like it. The gameplay is it's easy. It's a family. It's a kid game. It's a kiddier game. But as someone that grew up loving the Star Wars game and Star Wars show movies and some of the games, and man, I fell off hard after episode 9 broke my heart. But that's part of the reason why I'm replaying this one is because like I've like I've said, I've already beat the other games like in Lego before, but like even though it's gonna be a wholly different experience, I just want to like I want to see if maybe they can make episode 9 good, because if they can't, we're fucked. I mean, we're already kind of fucked, but we're really fucked. Yeah, so far it's playing pretty well. Like the puzzles are fairly simple, but like the gameplay is actually pretty fun. Like there's some pretty cool epic moments. Like the end of Last Jedi, episode 8 is actually really awesome, and I was actually kind of hype. In this, like they do like some of the big moments in the movies are actually pretty cool, and like the music is just cheating. It's not fair. Like I said, like the game, like I've never died or anything like that, but it's just fun to go through the games. I'm not doing any of like the side missions or going like exploring the world really. I'm just kind of like going through and playing the game, like playing the main story of the game. There's a ton of shit you can do if you want to like, do all that. But if you want to just like kind of like cruise through the thing, you could probably beat each. At least so far, I beat the first 2 ones in like maybe like I don't know 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So maybe like the length of the movie is what you could probably beat the games in. But like yeah, it's fun. Like doing the flying missions, all that is really good. I'm gonna play some more. I'll talk about more next week. I also started playing. I literally played started playing Sifu right for this. I literally just play like an hour. But they came out with the update that makes like an easier mode. It's still pretty challenging, but they have an easier mode. I'm doing that one. So this is like a roguelike game where if you like basically you play as Sifu, I believe his name is, and when he's a kid, he witnesses these 5 people murder his father, and now he's 20 years old and he wants revenge. It's a fucking martial arts game. Graphically, it's beautiful. And oh my god, the combat is incredible. Like the way it works, the way it flows, the way it moves, like the way you can dodge and parry, and like you can like combo, like you can dodge and parry, like you can like you hit down on the left stick and you'll like duck to duck like high attacks, or you like hit up with the parry to like lift your feet up to like dodge like sweeps or low attacks. Oh man, it's really good. So it's a roguelike. So like so how this works is like you have like a so he gets murdered when he's a kid, but he has this talisman and like somehow he survived it. And every time you die, you age a little bit. And I don't know what the max age level is. But
I think it's like 70 something.
But like I don't know how like the age works up, because like so far every time I die I go up 1 year, but eventually it starts skipping years. You might go from like say I don't know, like hypothetically 25 to 32, 32 to 45, and there's like better things, like nice things, like there's a balance there where like I think like you get older, like your health bar is a little lower, but like some of your attacks are like you're more powerful. So there's like a balance there. But there's also like things like you can in game, like you find statues that you can use that you can give you like in like stuff you only get for that run, so like you can like kind of build them up, so like you can increase like your like the highest age you can go to, or increase like you get some health back every time you defeat an enemy. You can increase how much health you get back, or you can increase how much how durable your weapons are, or you can what was one of them, like I can like one of them was like you can use you can earn experience points they can use to like buy. You can use those experience points to purchase new abilities, like new attacks and stuff like that, and you can buy those to use in that run, or you can spend more experience points and keep them permanently. So that's the stuff you can kind of keep running with you. So I got like I bought like my one thing I bought was like I can my weapons, well I can use them more. It takes longer to break them. Or like it breaks and I can throw it like I have like a fucking like a bamboo stick, and then like it breaks and then I can chuck it and it does a lot of damage. And then like I have like a awesome like I can run and hit triangle and I do like a leg sweep and it trips him and then I can run up and I can just beat the fucking shit out of him on the fucking ground, fucking kill him, Gable, fucking kill him. Man, this game is fucking awesome. It feels really good so far. I'm like I said, I'm playing on the easier mode, but it still gets. I've died quite a bit. Still like, but like one of them was like one of the ones I used was like I decreased my age by 5 years. So I started at 20. I was like 26. I went down to 21, I think. But I beat the first two bosses, the first two levels. And there's like things you can as you beat them, you can find stuff like that will like make you create shortcuts so you can get through these levels faster the next time around. And then also if you do die and you lose the run, you can actually start from the level that you last played on. So like I beat the first two levels. Say I die on mission 3, I can start from mission 3, but you don't get to replay and like get all the statues to re-earn all the upgrades for that run. So it's kind of a balancing act. But so far, it's really cool. I like the fact it's on an easier mode. Like I said, it's still difficult for me, maybe not for a lot of people. But I thought this game looked incredible, and I was just like, man, I'm just not good at games, especially games like this. I've never been. I'm just all like in boxing games or anything like UFC games, like or like, even like fighting games. I don't defend. I don't block. I don't parry. I swing for the goddamn fences. I'm like Gables predicting E3. I just go for the big. I go for home runs, and sometimes I get knocked the fuck out. And so like games like this, like that's a lot of, like the Souls games for me. Just don't click because I'm not a very patient fighter. So yeah, but so far it's really good. I'm gonna keep playing it, and I'll come back next week and talk about that game as well. But Gables, tell me about Kirby.
All right, so Kirby. So when I got Kirby last week, I decided to go forth and started like I think literally right after, gosh, like about the day that I did get it and stuff. I think I talked a little bit about it last.
Yeah,
week,
I think you just basically did like the first but basically the demo.
Yeah, so basically I just did like the whole extent of the demo stuff to where I went past the first world. And yeah, right now I'm past the first world. I'm not even like halfway through the second world and stuff. But part of the reason is because I wanted to collect all the little Waddle Dees and stuff and try to fully explore a lot of these levels. Let me tell you something. This game is absolutely made for you to go and explore everywhere inside these levels. They're huge, they're vibrant, and they feel so organic in terms of like how you're going through and investigating things. I like how the little mission structure is they'll give you like a whole list of things you're supposed to do. Like, okay, find the 4 Waddle Dees, do this, do that, or something like that. But there are going to be ones that are questioned, like kind of blocked out and stuff until maybe after you completed the level once or twice, and then they'll go through and they'll kick back. I like that aspect is because it gives you more incentive to replay the level, but also if you're really stumped in what you need to do next to get that last Waddle Dee, it'll just give you a little hint. It's like, oh, hey, for this level, go investigate that that treasure island and stuff like that. And that was one of the levels that I had last left off of and stuff before like I went to work this morning, to where it's like last night I had this one water level on level 2 that I kept finding like little bits here and there and stuff like that. I found all the seagulls in this level, did this and that, and like all of a sudden I had one Waddle Dee missing and like another thing missing, and I'm thinking, okay, where the hell am I supposed to find this? I've already went through this level like about 2 or 3 times, and then the little thing flipped around the last time I completed it after I found that last seagull. It's like, oh, explore the sunken island. It's like, oh, that place. It's like, it was like a particular portion of this level and stuff where you see an island that's far off in the distance, and you think to yourself, like, how the hell am I gonna get over there? Then all of a sudden you get to that out of bounds, you get to close to that line and stuff where it looks like it's an out of bounds area that you can't jump over. And so I thought to myself, like, let's try jumping over it. Maybe I can do it that way. And I jump over it, and I swam all the way to this island, and I fucking found the last Waddle Dee and like the island in of itself. It's that type of like clever hidden secrets and stuff that make this game more enjoyable in aspects, is because it forces you to think outside the box in order to do exploration stuff. It's like, hey, sure, you can keep inside this box's boundary and stuff, but sometimes you have to think outside the box in order to accomplish your task of what you need to do. Another thing I really like is the whole aspect of the whole Waddle Dee town. As of this moment, I have over 60 Waddle Dees.
Nice.
So I got the entirety of all the Waddle Dees in World 1, and then I've gotten most so far inside of World 2. I'm not sure how many levels, like worlds, there are in this game. I'm assuming it's going to be either 5 to 7.
I think it's 6 or 7. It's not 8.
Okay.
It's less than 8.
Okay.
It's more than 5.
Yeah, traditionally I know that some Kirby games go between like 6, sometimes 6 worlds, sometimes 7.
I think it's 6 worlds and like 7 is like a boss.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But my overall impressions of Kirby, it looks fantastic. Yeah, there's some little frame rate dips, but other than that, though, Nintendo and HAL Laboratories have done a fine job in regards to how this game's presented, how the game level design feels like a fucking Mario game, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like an explorable Mario game. This is like a natural evolution of like a spin-off of like a Kirby's version of a Mario game. I absolutely love it. I love the abilities of what you get to evolve later down the road, but you have to find these little maps, these little like instructions, these little like blueprints for you to evolve your specific items and stuff and like build it up like an RPG like level up system. I've gotten maybe 2 or 3 power-ups so far through doing it this way. I found the blueprint for like the whole like cutter Kirby and stuff, and he has chakrams and stuff, and he could toss these double chakrams and stuff at enemies and stuff. But I love the evolutionary process of what I have for like my basic weapons. I love the whole aspect of like in doing a whole bunch of like inhaling like these specific type of items to progress through certain parts of the level, like say the mouthful mode thing for the car, transversion past that. There was the cone Kirby. Those are fairly early on, and then there was the last one I had a chance to try out, which was the glider.
Oh yeah.
The glider for the whole concrete tier thing that you're climbing up of in the middle of the World 2 and stuff, to where there's this portion where you are transported to another area, right? And then you think to yourself, okay, how the hell am I going to go over here? And all of a sudden you see this glider that you can actually inhale, and you can fly across the damn thing, and you can go through this way and that way and stuff, and it feels nice. The whole glider stuff, it's a lot more fluid than I thought it was going to be. But one of the best aspects about this game is the soundtrack.
Oh.
The music is superb in this game. Absolutely superb. Level design, the music, the gameplay is simple as classic Kirby. I honestly didn't feel like that this game was going to be living up to, like, say, the heights that it does, but this is better than the average Kirby game. This is honestly one of the best Kirby games I've played since, like, Triple Deluxe on the DS. And even so, this game in and of itself, I'm not even halfway through this game. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. There's still other aspects of the game I have yet to try. I love collecting little gotcha little toys or little figures and stuff, decorating in Kirby's house. I think I've got like about 4 of them decorating his little mantle and stuff. But this is an absolute joy trying to unlock everything.
Yeah.
And that's fairly important for a 3D platformer, especially if you want to aim for people to have a little bit more fun with it, besides doing what they did with Star Allies, to where it feels like you could collect certain aspects of a level and stuff, but you could just basically blaze it through with it, like within 5 hours and stuff, and okay, that's it.
Just hold to the right and jump sometimes.
Yeah, so quintessentially like that type of gameplay, and they went from that whole side-scrolling experience to a fully fleshed out 3D platformer, what they have with this Kirby game. And not only does it feel natural, but it feels like an aspect like a Super Mario 3D World in some aspects.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's crazy to put that on that. I mean, it doesn't have the legacy of like a Mario, but I don't think it's crazy to put this game on that pedestal of like, maybe it's not as good as Mario 3D World, but it's fair to put it in the conversation, which is wild.
It's fair to put in the conversation right at this moment. But at the same point, like I was saying before, I'm not halfway through the game, and I'm already enjoying it to this extent, so I'm looking forward to where this game is going to take me to next, because, like I said before, last time I played a Kirby game this great was Kirby Triple Deluxe. some bit of like Robobot was also satisfactory,
Yeah.
but this is on a higher echelon to where it's up there with me with Kirby Triple Deluxe and Kirby Superstar. When it comes to that, it's getting close to that type of tier to where, God, a first main 3D Kirby game, and it hits it out of the park relatively well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
What
other than that, yeah,
before you move on here, what is
yeah,
World 2? What's like the theme of World 2?
it's a water, it's water,
Okay.
like a water world sort of
Okay.
thing.
So I can't wait. I believe it's World 3 is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking wait till you get there, Gables. Because it
Oh,
is
World 3.
one of the coolest Nintendo things ever made.
Okay.
I don't want. I feel like
Actually,
I'm putting it on too much of a pedestal, but it's one of my favorite things Nintendo has ever done.
Huh.
And the biggest complaint I have about that game is it peaked at World 3, and I don't.
Oh, okay.
That's not even like a fair. That's not even really a complaint. It's like the game is just too good at this part, and it's not. It's like this game is like an 11 out of 10 at World 3, and then it's just like a 9 out of 10 everywhere else, and it's just not fair. That's my complaint about that game. That's my one complaint I have about that fucking game. God damn.
My question to you, Tyler, is like when you played this game, did you actually go through and get every little Waddle Dee and
Oh
everything
God,
else?
no! I did like the first like 2 worlds, and then I was just like, I think I did. I got the majority of them. I
Right.
probably got like I can't remember what my final number is, but I probably got like I looked up the number. I got like I think it's like in the main campaign, the main story. I think I got like 70-80% of them.
Okay.
So
Okay, I'm definitely aiming to get all the Waddle Dees out of this one because for one, it's like it's definitely encouraging me to go forth and want to collect them, and two, like other types of Nintendo games, especially Kirby games, you collect everything. There's going to be some added bonuses that are going to be at the end of it. So
yeah,
I'm looking
there's
forward to
a couple
seeing
little
that.
things. I think the reason why I didn't get all of them is because I read that like you can't like you miss one in the game, you go back to replay that level again. So a lot of these games, like a lot of these collectible games, you just go back, you find that one, and then you can just quit the level, and you still got it. In this game, it doesn't work like that. You have to beat the level again.
Oh no, you got to complete it.
So I'm like, you know what? I don't really like. There's some cool shit in the Waddle Dee Town. Like the boss rush mode you eventually unlock is fucking awesome. The fun,
okay.
like the cooking game is actually pretty fun. There's some fun shit in there. This game is surprisingly excellent. Is Kirby my goddamn game of the year, Gables?
For what it sounds like, you had a hell of a good time of this game as well.
Fuck, is it better than Forbidden West? I got like 7 months to worry about this. I'm not gonna do it yet.
Well, I'll leave you to your mental anguish of having to decide that later on down the line.
I'm gonna do it right now while you're talking. Fuck me, man.
All right. So other than that, I did play more F-Zero X. I completed all the courses on Novice. And what's kind of funny is I completed what I thought was all of the cups on Standard until it unlocked a separate cup called the Joker Cup.
200cc.
And I went through it on Novice and again on Standard. And what's kind of interesting about it, Tyler, there's the very last track. Actually, no. The very first track of the Joker Cup, it's Rainbow Road. It's straight up Rainbow Road from like Mario Kart 64. And what's hilarious about it is it's a little bit more streamlined and stuff, and you could fall off the damn Rainbow Road and try to bypass everything, or just completely fall to your death. But the last level, the 6th course inside the Joker Cup, it's a gigantic hand with all the turns and this and that. Yeah, it's literally like the size of my hand, palm and all, like all the twists and turns and stuff like that. It's like freaking crazy as hell trying to navigate around those curves.
Does Giga Bowser show up in the final world?
Oh no. But what's more hilarious and stuff about it, it's like I completed that. I tried playing the game on Expert, like from Mute City. I still haven't cracked the top 10 yet. And I've tried it at least multiple different times. But yeah, that's pretty much the games I have been playing this week.
All right, man. Very cool. Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Like I said, top of the show. In case you forgot and you haven't done it yet, what the fuck are you doing? Go to our link tree. Like, follow, subscribe. Wherever you listen to us right now, go do that right now. If you're driving, pull the fuck over. Actually, don't even pull over. Just stop where you're at. Just stop in the street. I don't even care for the interstate. Just slam on the brakes right now. And like, follow, subscribe wherever you listen to us right now. Then while you're doing that, if you haven't been killed in a car accident, which I hope you haven't, but if you before you do, make sure you click on that link tree and follow us everywhere that we are on. That you click on that link tree. It has links to our personal Twitter accounts, the podcast Twitter account, Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, all those places that we're on. That's where we're at. That'll help you find us really fast. And do all that. If you could, we really would appreciate you go check out the video we just did earlier tonight on Saturday, June. Wow, my God, it's May still. May 21st.
It's still May.
Is it 2022,
yes.
Gables? I don't even know anymore.
Yes, it is.
Sure, it's not 20. Well, we went. We did the Wayne's World Back in Time thing, and we watched the E3 Nintendo Direct from 2014. It was very fun. Gables and I went back, reminisced for about 45 minutes, and watched that. Go check that out, please. Give us a big old thumbs up. And if you have any nice critiques, don't be a dick. Be nice. Some good critiques. Hey, like, let me know. Let me know. Like, if it's our first time doing it, I'm just literally testing out. I am learning OBS as we use it. So I'm just testing it out, seeing how it works. I'll check it out myself. If there's anything I'm missing, and maybe if there's some tips you can help me with, it'd be great. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna be watching some YouTube videos and just figuring out my free time. And then next week we'll probably do the same thing and check it out. I just want to test out, see if my computer can handle it, and just learn the system as we go. And get prepared, and hopefully, if some cool shit happens in the next few weeks, Gables and I could be there to talk about that fun stuff. And if you have some recommendations of some directs or anything like that you want us to watch, put them in the comments as well.
Yes.
Message us on any of those, and go on the link tree. Message us in any of those places that we're at. Let us know. We want to do something shorter though. We don't like. I don't want the reason we picked that one is because like 45 minutes. I didn't want to do like some of those Xbox and PlayStation conferences and directs and whatever you want to call it, showcases are like an hour and a half. It's like I just want to do something that's like 50 minutes or less, stuff like that. So if you have any things like that you want to do that. Let us know, please. But yeah. Sorry, someone's yelling outside over there. But yeah, if you like all this, please check us out in all those places, like I said. But I was your host, I was Tyler.
And I've been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, have yourself a fun time. Definitely enjoy your week. Play some fun games. Most importantly of all, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the DrunkNerds podcast.
And hey, Gables.
Yep.
Backwards. Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.